Hebrews 11:6, and the word of the Lord reads, "But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must," here's the operative word, "believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him." You might be seated in the presence of the Lord. And we are in part 2 of our teaching we started on last week. Believe, the coagulant of faith. Believe, the word believe. 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 That's an action word. Believe, the coagulant of faith. Throughout this series, and this is part 2 again of our series, we're emphasizing the importance of shaping your believing factor, which in turn activates as well as help you hold a steady course of faith. Because that is what I'm concerned about as we're talking about grace to faith, supernatural grace to faith. You have got to have the assistance needed to hold a steady course of faith. Faith is not something you get into when you get in trouble. You don't wait to get in trouble until you get in trouble to want to use faith. Faith must be a lifestyle. It's something that you do every day, even unconsciously. You are in faith. Amen. Amen. So believing, the believing factor is the coagulant of faith. It's what holds a steady course in your faith walk. Amen. It's important that we understand that once you lose your ability to believe, it sends your faith, I said on last week, in a tailspin until hope dies and causes your heart to faint. When this happens, a domino effect occurs, which in turn affects your reaping season. I don't know about you, I love to reap. I love to sow, but I also love to reap. I don't want to do a bunch of sowing and don't reap. Amen. Now, I don't sow just to get. I sow because I love him. I want to make that plain. I don't have this usury spirit to say I want to get God to do things for me. I love him. That's the reason I sow. But it is a principle. It's a law. Sowing and reaping is a law. And therefore, I have a right as a covenant child to make a demand on the seed that I've sown. Amen. And there comes a point in your life that there are times where you need that harvest. Amen. Come on, somebody. Maybe you don't, but there are times in my life I need a harvest. I need a little extra. I need a little help. And I make a demand on the seed that I've sown. Amen. So I'm not going to stay there because I'm not talking about sowing and reaping today. But I want to deal with believing. If you will, I want to just kick off going back to the book of Genesis chapter 12, verses 1 through 3. Genesis 12, 1 through 3. And it says, "Now the Lord had said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country, from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee. And I will make thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great. And thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curse thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed." Now he spoke those words to Abram, which we know his name eventually was changed to Abraham, which we are heirs, all right, of Abraham. So everything that God promised Abraham, it also belongs to us. We have a right to the same promise. We have a right to we call it the Abrahamic covenant. We have a right to everything that God promises. And if you really understood the dimensions of what that covenant entails, you will get excited this morning. Amen. So I understand that I have a right to this Abrahamic covenant. Amen. And I'm joint heirs with Jesus Christ, according to Galatians. Amen. So we know that God called Abraham to go to a country, to a place. We understand and we know that it is the promised land. And he said, I'll show you where you need to go. But in the process, I'm going to bless you. I'm going to bless you. I'm going to bless you. I'm going to bless your descendants. All of the nations on the earth are going to be blessed because of the seed that is in you. Amen? But it's important that you know that you are blessed. And when you understand this, then you'll know that no one can put a hex. Nobody can't put no goober dust, no voodoo on you. They can't curse you. Amen. Because you can't bless what's cursed. Amen. And it's not just people that use spiritism as we understand it. It's also those that would try to use words, because words also are curses. People people that don't speak well of you is a curse. People that don't want you to succeed, their words is designed to try to curse you. People that don't want you to be blessed and despise the blessings of the Lord that's on your life, and they decree and declare that you won't keep it, that's a curse. But understand, the devil is a liar and the truth is not in him. How many of you know that the blessing of Abraham can defy any curse that's ever spoken and declared against you? Amen. Amen. But we know that Abram did not move immediately. Of course, he took care of his aging father until he passed on. But that was his responsibility, because Abram was the eldest son. So he had to make sure that his father was taken care of. And it's so important that you understand why God called Abram to leave his country that he was raised in and his kindred. Now, please let me give a disclaimer, because people get nervous and misunderstand what I'm trying to share with you. I am not telling you that you need to leave and uproot and move away from your family. I didn't say that. Okay, I have to say that because it's like a nervous atmosphere come over the place when I go there. I'm not trying to displace anybody. Please understand. I'm going to teach this word, though. You're not going to stop me from teaching this. But that's not what I'm saying. That is not what I'm trying to infer here through this teaching. But I want you to understand that God needed him to leave his homeland because of something called a familiar spirit. It's a familiar spirit. And I'm not going to talk along on that because I'm not here to deal with spiritual warfare. But it was a familiar spirit that he was dealing with. A familiar spirit, please, if you're taking note, a familiar spirit will try to contain you and keep you where you are. Amen. Now, again, let me make a disclaimer. Some people, if you're satisfied with your life and the way things are going, again, I'm not talking to you. All right, you just chill, or you can, daydream or whatever you want to do. I'm not talking to you, all right? But I'm talking about people that feel like, God, I feel like I got something more in me. I feel like that God, you want to do more through me. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to people that are not comfortable in the state that they're in. Those are the people I'm talking to. And again, I have to give that disclaimer because people sometimes, again, think that they mistake my words. And they think that I'm trying to force them to do something that they don't want to do. I'm not here to force anybody. I don't bother nobody. Look, do you? All right, can I make that plain simple? Do you, and if you fine, I'm fine too. If you lack it, I love it. Amen. But I know that there was a place, and I'm preaching out of my own pain. And I'm sharing with you out of my own progress and what it took to get there, because there's a price to pay. This spirit, this familiar spirit, or this containment spirit, it will try to use words of control to manipulate you into keeping traditions that could possibly be in direct violation of the will of God for your life. In Abraham's case, it wanted him to continue the family religion of idol worship. It wanted him to stay right there and continue to make little gods that the people worshiped. That's what he did. That's what his family was known for centuries of idol worship. Let me talk a little more about this battle of containment. It means you need to make sure you get away from those who shape or frame your way of thinking that will cause you to think in direct violation of the word. Let me say it again. Get away from those who shape or frame your way of thinking that will cause you to think in direct violation of the word.